Article here from Vice News. Democrats just united around a $15 minimum wage. So this is the impact that Bernie Sanders is having. They say, bruised after a crushing defeat in November, Democrats are uniting under a cause they believe could pay off in 2018, the $15 federal minimum wage. On Thursday, Senate Democrats introduced legislation that would raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2024, reflecting local laws that have raised the minimum wage in 19 states earlier this year. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 an hour since taking effect in July 2009, an 8-year stagnation that evinces the broader trend of stalled wages across the U.S. economy. The Raise the Wage Act would be the biggest federal minimum wage increase in history, and it would additionally peg future minimum wage increases to inflation. The bill would also eliminate the tipped minimum wage, the separate minimum standard of $2.13 an hour that is paid to workers, like those in restaurants or bars who earn at least $30 a month in tips. So that last point, I think, is a really important point, and nobody mentions it, which is there are a lot of exceptions to even our shitty minimum wage. One of them is waiters and waitresses and tips. They go, well, since you earn off tips, we're only going to pay you $2.13 an hour. That's all we're legally required to do. Fuck that. Fuck that. Are you kidding me? No, they should still have to be paid. They should still at least be paid the minimum wage and then plus whatever tips they get on top of that. I don't know why, like, what a shitty fucking ridiculous thing. Like, since you're going to get tipped, we're not going to pay you almost like anything. That's such an obvious, like, corrupt, gross thing that was bought by business owners that bought politicians to give them that. It's not like that makes sense. Like, there's no inherent thing like, being a waitress or waiter is different fundamentally than a job where you're getting paid more hourly. No, it's not. So why the fuck are you... just tips. It's just all off tips. Fuck that. So I totally agree with that. And here's the most important fact in this entire story. This piece of legislation used to have 12 supporters. Now it's 31. Wow. Used to be 12 supporters. Now it's 31. So that means a lot of Democrats said, we're going to sign on to that. So here's the thing. It's both a good thing and a questionable thing. The good part of it is, okay, now 31 Democrats are saying they're for a $15 minimum wage. Great, we'll take it. But the questionable thing is, why are you only doing it now when you know it can't pass? Because it can't. The Republicans control everything. So it has no chance of getting through. And now a bunch of corporate Democrats are like, yeah, no, totally. I'm totally with like $15 minimum wage, bro. I know what you're talking about. So I don't believe a lot of them that if push came to shove and the Democrats had a supermajority and they could get it through, that these corporate Democrats would vote for it. But that's why we're going to primary them anyway. Like, there's certain ones who you look at their record and you know who the fakers are, you know who the real ones are. And a lot of them are fakers, and we're on to them. Just like Representative Joe Crowley in the House, who, one of the most corporate of corporate Democrats, now has a Justice Democrat primary opponent, Alex Ocasio-Cortez, and then he's like, it's a single payer. I'm signing on a single payer. I'm totally for single payer. I don't know what you guys are so mad at me for. I mean, all I do is Wall Street's bidding all the time and leave to do fundraisers with Wall Street and then come back and vote in favor of Wall Street. But hey, whatever. So what? I take corporate money and pack money, but now I'm a single payer. So yeah, please don't hurt me. Don't primary me. I don't want to lose. So, but we know who the good ones are and we know who the bad ones are. But either way, it's good to see this is the way you win elections. Like, the Democrats with the Russia, that's not going to win you a fucking election. People are going to roll their eyes and go, shut the fuck up. It's like Benghazi nonsense, hysteria. But if you're out there talking about a $15 minimum wage and you're hammering away, that'll win you elections. But now it's a matter of, so a lot of the Democrats signed on now, 31 in the Senate. But no, now you also have to do the hard work of going out there and pushing it. You have to go out there and say, yeah, we have, the minimum wage isn't even a living wage. We need to at least have $15 an hour. We need to make it so, people are compensated properly for their work. If the minimum wage kept up with inflation from 1968, it would be higher today. Right now, the minimum wage is worth less than it was in 1968. Isn't that crazy? If it kept up with productivity, it'd be over $20 an hour. If it kept up with the earnings of the top 1%, it'd be over $21 an hour. So what do we do? Of course you got to raise the minimum wage. Go out there and make the case and argue for it, and that's how you win elections. But I don't think a lot of them are going to do it. Bernie Sanders will do it, of course. Elizabeth Warren will do it. But, you'll have the corporate Democrats will be, yeah, I'm for it, because they're not really for it. It's just a trick on their part. So they won't make the case, but all of them should make the case, because if you do, that's how you increase turnout. That's how you get elected. But again, the problem to the corporate Democrats is, but then I'd actually have to do it, and I don't really want to do it. So that's why we primary the corporate Democrats. But it's still a positive thing that they're all 31 now are on the page for $15 an hour, and they should all go out there and make that case aggressively.